Good afternoon, traders. It is Monday, August 14th, 2023. Let's take a look at the markets today before we jump into our accounts. And we'll start off with SPY, which had a nice day today. So a nice little bounce on the day on SPY, mainly led by techs, which we'll take a look at in a second. As we can see here on the daily chart, we had a decent day on Friday where we came down to this support level and tried to fill this gap and moved higher on the day with MACD reversing. Well, MACD continued to reverse and RSI also reversing today as we head back up towards the 21 EMA on the daily. It doesn't mean a single thing right now. We could go higher, we could go lower. We're still in a PSR downtrend on the bearish here. We would have to break above about 45.50, 45.51 to reverse that, and then also break through this previous support area, which could become, again, looks like it may have become resistance. So we've got to get through 45.30 or 451, I'm sorry, and 30 cents. If we can get through that area, well, then maybe we can head up to a new higher high. If we look at the weekly chart, MACD has been trending down, got a little bit of a curl in the RSI today. Nothing to say that we've changed any direction at all. We're certainly not really bearish. We're not super bullish. We're still in this uptrend, though, and there's no reason to think it doesn't continue for now. Looking at the Qs, a pretty good day today since the tech stocks moved up pretty well. We did get on the daily here a bounce off the 50 EMA like we did and held it on Friday. A good bounce today, heading up towards that PSR signal and this previous resistance and support level around 373 or so. So if we can break 373 and change, 372.80, something like that, if we can break through that, then again, maybe we head to new recent highs. If not, if we can't really break through this area here, we'll look to continue some lower lows. On the weekly, MACD has just been tailing off, so the momentum's just coming out of the market here, overdone a bit. On the daily, MACD just breaking through or trying to break through the zero line. So still overall a little bit of a bearish tone to it despite the day. And on IWM, the Russell and small caps here on the daily, we did hold the 50 EMA and bounced off of it after breaking below it during the day. A nice looking candle here with the longer bottom wick. So the bears could not hold it down. The bulls moved us up and we closed at the highs of the day. We'll see if that bears any fruit over the next couple days or so. But we did hold the 50 EMA on the daily. We've got to get back above the 21 for anything to happen. If not, on the weekly, we just continue to be in this sideways chopping channel for a bit. Again, MACD, the momentum has been coming out of the market. Overall, too, if we take a look at VIX, it did nothing today. It tried to climb a bit, closed at the lows of the day. VIX just doing nothing. Anyway, big news for me on the day. I think one of the important things to keep looking at is the US dollar here. So when we look at the dollar index on the weekly, we've broken through on the MACD to some higher momentum. We have not broken through the zero line with the MACD line, with the MACD signal yet. However, we are starting to pick up some momentum to the upside as RSI is rising. So the weekly is still pretty good, breaking above not only the 21, but the 50, trying to break the 50 today. And then if we move over to the daily here, MACD reversed its move and started moving back higher again. We jumped up, we hit almost, the 103.46 level here. We are right at a resistance level. We are right at the 200 MA on the daily. You've got the 21 about to break above the 50. So some bullish looking stuff here. And on this move, you've got RSI moving higher. So no really bearish divergence. It's, new highs, new recent highs. And RSI is confirming that. So looks good on the dollar, which is not great for everything out there. Let's take a quick look at TLT as well. Where did we go on the bonds today? They tried to pop a tad, failed on the day, closed pretty much flat. MACD trying to reverse. RSI still heading down here. Weekly and daily looking pretty ugly. So nothing here, not a bottom yet. We'll keep an eye on what's going on with the bonds. And if we look at, the Aussie dollar, lower on the day, although finished well off of its lows. On the British pound, lower on the day, but finished off of its lows pretty well. The euro futures finished lower on the day, did finish off of their lows, but did trigger a bearish PSR signal today. So not a great looking time because of the dollar for some of these forex pieces. Oil dropped a bit on the day. Nothing wrong with that. It's good to take a little bit of a break in oil. It's been losing its momentum a bit on the MACD. RSI is heading lower. Bigger pullback in oil, maybe to this 21 EMA around 80 would be the first target or so. I'll keep an eye on that, but it's definitely needed. I think if we can reset to around 80, then we can move, continue to move higher or so. I don't think we're going to see oil heading back to these previous lows again, but a good pullback would be healthy in oil. And then gold just doing nothing. Gold's just gone nowhere it's at the same price that it was all the way back here in January. So despite a little gyrations in here, gold's just doing nothing. However, one thing to take a look at is you do have a little bit of this triangle action on the weekly heading up, and you're at the bottom of this. So you've got a tightening triangle, and we're starting to squeeze a bit. So we'll see if gold can pull out of this, or does gold just keep breaking down a bit more. It's going to make a move one way or the other coming up, especially on the weekly here, which would portend a little larger move. On the daily, do we hold this trend line a bit and break higher? You're seeing Bollinger Bands opening up, so the movement is starting to accelerate, and you can see the bearish acceleration in the MACD. So gold not looking too hot overall. If you look over here on the watch list as well, when we take a look at the sectors, the only sector that was really up of any value today was really tech. Tech looked good on the day. At the bottom of its Bollinger Band and the 3 ATR on Friday, bounced off of that today. MACD trying to reverse with RSI. Nothing to get bullish about yet. Just an up day in the middle of this little downtrend that we got going on the daily. But a good update today. The only other things that followed a little bit in suit was XLY, which is your Tesla, Amazon. It moved up a bit today. And XLC, your communications with Google and Meta, bouncing today. It still looks pretty good for this sector as we bounce off of this 21 EMA. So, communications bouncing off to 21. XLY had already broken the 21, heading back to it, which could act as a little resistance. And then on tech, same type of thing. So communications, which is your Metas, Googles, and other communication sectors, looking fairly decent. Nothing else really of note in the sectors. Maybe utilities down a fraction today, but really nothing major. So let's take a look at just a few of the stocks that are out there. Amazon still looks strong, didn't even come down and test its 21 EMA. It just bounced off of this support line, maybe heading higher. Amazon looking pretty good on the daily here, and then even on the weekly, holding in there tight. And then Apple had another follow-through decent day after this bounce off of some support here. MACD is reversing, even though it's a bit overdone here on the RSI. MACD, though, reversing. Maybe the momentum of this downside move is coming out of it. You can see us starting to tighten the width between the two. MACD moving averages, and we'll keep an eye on the main MACD line to see if that starts to turn up a bit. Nothing makes me want to get in at all right now. You could maybe do a really short term, put credit spreads in Apple. I think that might be a decent play. Microsoft, fairly similar, below the 50 and the 21. Yeah, you're getting some reversal on MACD. RSI trying to come off of some lows. Not time to get in or anything yet on that. Meta did try to get back to the 21 EMA today in reverse. Still kind of in no man's land. Google, though, like Amazon, remains above the 21 EMA. Had a nice positive day higher today. RSI still solid. MACD still above the zero line. So I think Google and Amazon are your two best looking techs in here above their 21 EMAs. And then NVIDIA, giant reversal today, massive up day. I think a big GEX move from Friday expiration on that helped the chart a bit here. I'm not sold yet that we're moving higher, but that's a pretty good technical move on the charts. I'm not sold that we're going to make new highs, but I'm not betting against NVIDIA here, but I still think we got to fill this gap at some point. So pretty solid move on NVIDIA. Tesla did fill this gap in here today, and then finished a little bit off its lows with MACD starting to try to chill out here. The momentum of the downside move is starting to come out. RSI is getting close to oversold. I think Tesla here in this really tightening descending triangle, if it breaks to the upside of this, I think you get another nice up move in Tesla. The weekly does not look hot. The weekly is telling you we're going lower. The move of the up move here has run out of steam. RSI is heading lower. MACD is heading lower, and a PSR reversal signal this week on Tesla. So overall, on the weekly, not so good. On the daily, might get a little bit of a break, but I don't know that I want to fight the weekly trend here. So there's where we are on some of the market today. Let's take a look and see how we did in the account. And here's the main Income Navigator trading account for today, the 14th. Delta, we dropped that in a bit today. A little bit of an up move helped, as well as taking off a few trades. We'll discuss that in a minute. 450 on Delta puts us back at 0.16, which is perfect for us, exactly in the range that we want to be in. So we finally got some Delta to calm down a bit today after making a few moves. Theta dropped a bit, 670 on Theta. It's a little light. We got to get some Theta into this account. We'll talk more about that through the week, but we did put on a new trade in the account today. We put a new bear trap trade on. We were able to move up net lick-wise for the third consecutive session in a row. So we are just fractionally off of the all-time highs in this portfolio from a net lick standpoint. BP usage dropped nicely, took us down just under 50%, perfect where we want to be, and we lost $3 realized on the day today. Let's take a look at what that was, and here's really the trades that we had coming off today. So number one, first trade here was a hedge on ES that we had working. That thing expired worthless today, lost $100 on that. We had the put debit spread that was left on our HE trade, which is our lean hog. So lean hog 112s, we'd already closed the naked puts for a winner. The PDS expired worthless today. We don't even count that as a win or a loss. Then we took off 3 naked puts that we had on ES. We were doing a little bit of experimenting on a 90 DTE ES naked put. I took these off today just to clean things up a bit because it's outside of our normal strategy. 2 of them we took off for winners, 1 for a loser. We had already booked a few winners in this strategy at 50%. So overall, I like the strategy. I think it's worked well, even in this little bit of a pullback. It's something we're going to be adding to the strategy mix. I'm done testing. I took these off today. So this also helped drive our delta back down a bit as we took these 3 ES naked puts off, even though we took them off for a net gain. So $3 to the downside today, and doing well. Small account that we trade had a fantastic day. That account was up almost 1.5% today alone. IRA was up nicely today. So great day overall in the portfolios that we run. If you like this video and you got something out of it, go ahead and click that like button. Please subscribe if you are new to the channel. Hit the notifications so that you can keep up with what we're doing. But these some of these trades, we're going to be covering these more on what we did on these naked puts, how to put them on, how to take them off. I'm done with the experiment, took them all off. I just got to wait until we get that buying power back in. Our account is in perfect shape right now when we look at the Greeks. So we're managing our portfolio exactly the way it should be. Great delta, perfectly aligned where we want to be. Yeah, good data. We could be a little bit better. Net lick is up. BP use is down. Overall, up almost $4,000 on the month on this $284,000 income navigator portfolio. So we're up almost 1.3% so far, 14 days into the month. Loving where we are. Looking for another great week and another solid month. You guys enjoy a great rest of your day, and good luck in the trading sessions tomorrow. We'll see everybody tomorrow. Take care. Thank you. Bye-bye.